Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us for the first edition of the Music Journey, hosted by myself, Bled Chimanga, together in partnership with Alliance Françaisede. Thank you so much for trusting us and checking out us tonight. Thank you very, very much for just giving us your time and, of course, your bundles. We love you so, so much. And let me start by giving a shout out to Alliance Françaisede for partnering and making sure that this show comes out directly into your homes. And please do share the broadcast. Please press like. Please tag someone to come and watch this amazing new show that we have for you called The Music Journey. The Music Journey is there for you to get to know the artist more, get to know their story, get to know their success, get to know their challenges, get to know stories that you never know where this song has come from. And so we are here and we're going to be giving you a couple of editions as the year goes. And so today I'm honored. I'm so happy to have my dear friend, a longtime friend, someone who I actually really look up to, who has been such an inspiration in our generation. And this is none other than Tariro neGitare.
Pressure. Like, what was that?
Thank you, Tari, for accepting to be on our show, the first ever, The Music Journey. And I'm so excited to have you.
I'm very excited to be here.
Thanks, Tari. So we're going to start by just asking you to tell us about yourself. Who is Tariro neGitare?
I am Tariro neGitare. Okay, so Tariro is a singer, songwriter, and guitarist. I'm based in Harare, Zimbabwe. I enjoy music and everything that is around music, although I did not ever think that I would be a musician. I thought this was just going to be a bedroom hobby, particularly because my brother used to play the guitar, Manfred, and it was, so when I went to high school, we had a guitar choir, and I volunteered to be part of it, and fast forward a couple of years later, a friend of mine, Charmaine, invited me to the Sisters Open Mic, and it turns out the first one that I went to happened to be the first anniversary of the Sisters Open Mic. And Anatu, Sis Tudu was there, Sis Chi, what's her name, Sis Musi, Mube. There were all these amazing female artists. And Edith was about to go and perform. And then Dudu asked me, you play the guitar, don't you? And I said, yes. And I went up and I played. And I played Redemption song, actually. That was the first song I played. And next thing, Edith was about to perform. And then she says, do you want to join us on stage? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? So we went up, jammed, and fast forward, here we are.
Wow, so you got this whole thing about first, yeah?
I know, right? I'm this first thing.
First year of Sisters Open Mic, and then boom, first year of the Music Journey.
Lord
and who is here?
God knows what's about to happen. So I'm excited. I'm excited for you as well and for this show.
Thank you so much, Tari. I'm sure you didn't know. You see Tari on stage, then you're like, how did this all start? That's what we are going to pry around today. What is this? Tari, tell us, where did this name then, Tariro neGitare? We know Tariro came from mom and dad, and thank you, mom and dad. I know you're watching tonight. But where does this Tariro neGitare, the brand name, come from? What's the story behind that?
It's not an exciting story, really. Tariro is a very popular name, and I remember when I started performing on different platforms, it was, when I Tariro neGitare, Raki. Look at Tariro neGitare. So when I thought, how do I then differentiate Tariro from every other Tariro? Because it's an obvious Zimbabwean name. And so I thought, okay, the unique thing is that I play the guitar. And so Tariro neGitare Raki. And it's so beautiful because when I walk in town and I don't have the guitar, no one seems to know me. But the moment I carry that thing, it's like, Tariro neGitare. I'm like, yeah. So I guess the branding, thank God for that amazing branding.
Wow. Well, I mean, I was just thinking about it, having a research on you, that why didn't you say Tariro we ma guitare or Tariro we mu guitare?
You won. So,
okay.
It's me and my guitar.
I think that's a message to even other musicians watching.
And I think further on, the revelation that I then got is that your gift will make room for you and place you before great men. And when you get before great men, what do? So there's Tariro, who is placed before great men, then the gift is there to sing for those great men. So,
are we here to also unleash certain gifts that we did not know about?
It's the first.
It's the first. Maybe when we come back for Music Journey season 4, maybe we'll have Reverend Taro. Anyway. All right, Tari. So, of course, you've got albums to your name. Tell us the journey in recording. I want to zero on recording as a female artist and releasing your music as a female artist in Zimbabwe and, you know, just generally in Africa.
Yeah.
How has been the journey? And you can just walk us through the journeys, the albums that you currently have and things like that. Yeah.
I don't have that many. I've only got 3.
Okay. Hey, 3 are not many.
They're not many. I mean, when you compare with other greats, I mean,
Hashtag humility.
It's just 3. So, I mean, I've literally, every album of mine has been stumbling. I've been bumping into things that sort of make it happen.
Wow.
I never, like I said, this was not the plan. This was not my plan. The first album, we had been performing at the acoustic nights for a while.
Okay.
And we happened to perform with Jamaram, which is a amazing German band, at one of the Hi-Fis. I think it was 2009, 2010. We had such amazing chemistry with them, and they thought, you know what, this was so amazing. How can we then take it to Germany? And by God's grace, we were allowed to travel to Germany, the 3 of us, myself, Priya Soul, and Rutendo Machiditsa, for our first ever tour. Please note, this is like from Norway. We're going for 22 shows in 1 month. It was crazy. But the prerequisite was that I needed an album. So I was now under pressure to get into studio and do something. Thank God I had the songs, and thanks to DS, David Singwa, he allowed us to come in and record, and I recorded my first album. That was the first one. So that, you know, that was amazing. That was great. So for me, I was like, wow, this can actually work. And a lot of musicians came together for me, you know, for free, yourself included, you know, and it was amazing. And that was my first step to say, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Second album, Chipo Changu, you know, it was the journey. Now coming into the gifting and say, Lord, thank you. This is what we're doing. I guess my plan is out the door. We're doing your thing now. And I was having a conversation with Sam Mataure one morning, and we're sitting there, and he says, okay, so what's the plan now? And I said, well, I don't know. And he says, what's the plan for the second album? And I said, well, I'd like to record it, but I don't know who to use. It's like, why are you recording locally? Why don't you try somebody internationally, just so that you get the experience? And I said,
wow,
I can't afford it. He's like, okay, who would you like? And I said, you know what, I really love Steve Dyer to do something for me. Great. I'm going to talk to Steve Dyer. You beg, borrow, and steal and make that happen. And I tell you, it worked like... Next thing, Steve Dyer is coming to Zimbabwe for the Tuku event, and Sam just says, go pick him up, talk to him, and let's make it happen.
Wow.
I spoke to him, Steve was like, great, let's do it, and gave me some amazing terms, and it worked, and so that's how we got the second album. Third album is called Exalt! So yeah, I'll tell you, look, the journey hasn't been easy. And I got to a point where I'm thinking, so why am I doing this? What is the point of this? You know how our industry is at times. And I thought, look, I can just go back and sit behind a desk. I'm qualified enough. Do I really need to be stressing myself with these things in the industry? And myself spiritually as well started to really shake my life. So I thought, no, let me leave it. But I had this amazing vision where, you know, when you're sleeping but you're not sleeping. You're sleeping but you're not sleeping, and that's
something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So then I'm in this vision, and then it showed a city, and then this city looked like New York City, but I was in Harare. I could tell it was Harare. It was so beautiful. It was amazing. That like large buildings, but the city was crumbling. The city was falling down, like, you know, bombs, and it was falling down. And I was like, oh, what's happening? But I was just watching. I wasn't in the vision. And then next thing, it's peaceful. It's a beautiful city. It was like in a garden. There was, you know, the green is like alive, and the sun is like shining on my face. The birds are chirping, and it's like that. And I was like, what is happening? And then there's a like a cloud that just burst.
This is in the
like,
vision.
Yeah, in the vision.
Guys.
It just burst, and then the words exalt, like literally like this. The way, this is how it was. I think this was the font too. You know?
Yeah.
And then just these words exalt.
Just wait there.
Yeah.
Who would know that one day would get to talk to Tariro, neGitare, and tell us that she saw a vision? Vision! I mean, when you talk about vision, you're thinking about, you know, a pastor, I saw a vision. You know, the church was growing. But look at this, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why we are bringing the music journey to you. So you get to know these stories. When these men and women stand on stage to perform those songs, there is something. There's something that I don't know if everyone goes through a vision, but ladies and gentlemen, the third album of Tariro is called Exalt. That came from a vision. Continue, Tariro.
Yes. So so I meditated on during the day. I said, look, what is this? It doesn't make sense. And it's like, look, the end. These are the end times.
Wow.
And I'm raising you up to be an end time to be the voice of the end times, to be one of the voices of the end times, and you need to exalt my name above everything else. So from that moment, the music that I started to get, you know, when you listen to it and you start crying and you're thinking, wow, this can't be me. It's literally, he took all my experiences and put it in words that I never thought I could express. And every time people, you're going to hear it in the set, it's just amazing. So that's where we are with the third album.
Woof.
Yeah.
Yeah, she literally finished the interview, ladies and gentlemen. So that's 3 albums from Tari. And please do go online and check out these albums. Musicians in Zimbabwe are working so hard to give you music, and this is one amazing artist I can vouch for. We can speak for on behalf of Alliance that she's been such a gem in this country. Wow. And please do go and follow her music and please buy the albums. We're gonna take a 2-minute commercial, and when we come back, we're going to get to know what inspires Tari. Does Tari actually get mad? What goes on? What happens? So stay tuned as we take this 2-minute break, and please do share the broadcast that many more people come and check out Tari's story on the music journey with your host, Bled Chimanga. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Music Journey with your host, Bled Chimanga, and today we have the amazing Tariro neGitare, and she's telling us a story, and we're getting deeper now. You know, we're getting deeper. And thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for loving Alliance Françaisede, and a big shout out to the director who has given us this amazing opportunity to be on their platform with the Music Journey that we are bringing to you every second week of the month. Every fortnight, so please do check out the more editions that are coming through. Tari, let's continue, my friend.
Yeah.
Now, what inspires you? How do you get this music? What inspires you?
Look, obviously God has a big part in this.
Right.
And He's allowed me to go through certain experiences. He's allowed me to meet certain people that inspire certain things in me. He's allowed me to, even nature, to go through, to just see the nature and say, you know what, this is amazing. Wow. So everything around me, every experience that I've been to, I've sort of used that to create the music that I have.
Wow. And I touched on this before on our first half, but you didn't get there, you know. How has it been being a female artist in our country or in the continent? What are some of the challenges? Also, what have been some of the good things of being a female artist? You know, we always see the bad stuff, but maybe there are also good stuff. Would you like to share your experience, you know?
Yeah, I'm going to put a disclaimer because this response that I'm going to give to this question might be a bit controversial. My journey as a female artist has been very great. Yes, there have been challenges, but with those challenges comes better solutions. For instance, I'll give an example of an amazing concert that I had for a very high-end company, and there was myself and another male artist at that function. So during the day of that event, I had some work to do. I had to run to Rua and do some work there. Then on my way back around 3 p.m. I realized, oh no, my daughter needed to be picked up from school. And then also, I'm a single mom by the way, so my daughter needed to be picked up from school, and then I ran to pick her up. On my way to take her home, I realized she's got a fever. So I called my mom up and I'm like, can I just bring her over? I've got a show tonight. She's like, yeah. But we had to go to church, so there was no one at home, so I couldn't take her to my mom's. And then on my way, I quickly picked up her clothes, quickly picked up some medication for her. Then I called my manager and said, you know what, you're going to have to babysit tonight. I've got this concert. It's like, great, pass through sincere. So I went through and I dropped her off there. Then I go to the function. So I get to the function, my male counterpart gets there and I'm like, hey, he's like, yeah, we're just coming from a bride. we've just been hanging out, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Wow.
So here I am, I'm up to pressure. Then I realized, okay, so I have to perform first because I need to get back to my daughter, get her homework done, and see, just get things going. So the first thing I did is I get to the organizer and I said, you know what, please put me first because I want to perform and leave. And also I need to meet 1, 2, 3, 4 people so that I do my sales calls, and yeah, voila. So I perform, I do my sales calls, and I leave. I get home and I put my feet up. And I think, okay, that went well. I would have loved to stay and hang out as my male counterpart. So the opportunities are never going to be the same.
Yeah.
But then I realized one thing, that God would not have given me this gift. And as a woman, He knew I was a woman. He knew I would bear children. So everything about me is created for me to succeed in the way that only I can. And blessing will never be Tariro neGitare. Tariro will never be blessing Chimanga. So there's things that have been put in us that allow us to flourish. So there is no challenge. It's just you go through that challenge and go to the next thing. And that challenge is meant to make you better and make you think better and make you create better solutions for yourself that will then aid the next person. So I don't believe that we have challenges as females, but there's things that are around us that help us be better people and help us have a better nature and tell our story in a unique way that no other person can. So we cannot compete, we cannot fight. You have your unique story that you have to sell, and you have the capacity to do it because God has given you that capacity. That's my take.
Yo. I was expecting to just, because I'm a female, this then happened,
No.
then this, but
I'll tell you, to be honest, the guys in this industry have supported me more than ever.
wow.
I remember when I went up on stage, one of my first few shows, I get off stage, Philip Monroe says to me, you need to work on ABCD. Your chords need some work, and it gave me a couple of free lessons. Alexia once came up to me and was like, you're so good, but you need to learn to be less self-conscious. So I've really gotten positive feedback. Prayer Soul would come and say, no, girl, you're slacking. Let's pick up on these chords. People in studio will say, let's work on this. Your vocals need some work. Let's hear some lessons here. So there's been a lot of support that I've received, even from the female artists. Anasis Dudu, Anasis Prue, and particularly the person who mentored me, Prophetess Kathy. She really took me under her wing, and I think I cannot take for granted what mentorship has done for me.
Wow.
She took me under her wing, and we started to work on character. It was a character issue, pride, things that would you get a big head in this industry. Everyone telling you every day, you're so good, you're so good. You need someone who ground you and say, girl, it's not you. It's not you.
Calm down.
So she really
Wow.
worked things through me. She
Wow.
really made me look at myself and say, what am I doing? And here we are today. So
Wow.
yeah, I don't take that for granted. I'm so grateful for the people that God has placed in my life to really push this gift forward.
Wow. You're hearing it for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, right here on the Music Journey, our first edition, and we have the amazing Tariro neGitare. Her story, even for me, I can't stop here. I mean, we're in trouble with time, but I can't stop because everything is just so powerful and it's so life-changing. And I'm sure once you put the story and her music, you would definitely follow her for life because now you can relate to what she has to say through her music. Tari, what has been your worst performance ever? What happened?
Ooh, I don't want to say because everyone's not going to go on YouTube and look for it because it's on YouTube, but I don't know I don't know who put it up there. It was a Haifa acoustic night,
Okay.
and we were given the 7 Arts Theatre. So please note, we've come back from international tour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? International tour.
Yes.
And everyone's like, no, we need to see this act. So the 7 Arts was packed. We had our outfits on point. We had everything. The sound, we had the best in the band was like on point.
On point.
I get on stage. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
The usual. And then, so I borrowed Prayer's guitar. Because, backstage there was a lot of commotion. So I said, Deepa, guitar, just give me a guitar. I need to go and perform. So I borrowed Prayer's guitar. And I didn't strap it up correctly.
Right. Wow.
I get there looking very beautiful and ravishing in this lovely pink dress with these gorgeous heels. The guitar falls down and the whole auditorium goes, So I gracefully pick up this guitar. So that's where my entry statement started. So I gracefully pick up this guitar and my heart is pounding. And I just say, Zita Ramundi Tariro neGitare. Ini Dini Tariro.
I know you give me a 5 for that.
And, that was like, whoo, but now the guitar's out of tune. So Frank quickly picks it up, Frank Mavirima, quickly picks up the guitar's out of tune. So I just play briefly, then somebody comes quickly to grab the guitar, they tune it, and I just keep blabbing until, but my confidence was just like.
Wow, that's everything works together for good.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's a thanks, Terry, for coming to the show. I know that there's somebody watching, maybe a young lady watching out there who would want to be like you, or who looks up to you already.
Yeah.
Any words of inspiration, any words of encouragement, even as a nation, even as a continent, even as the whole world right now, we're going through a very terrible time. And I think us as musicians, we play a pivotal role in keeping hope alive and keeping everybody, just feeling that we still have a tomorrow to look up to. So any encouraging words to somebody who wants to be like you, and just a word to the viewers who are watching. Yeah.
So I wouldn't encourage you to be like me.
Oh,
I would encourage you to look up to the one I look up to, and that is the Lord Jesus Christ. And when you make him the center of your faith, when you make him the center of whatever it is that you're doing, your family, your home, your work, he will give the increase. We plant, we water, but he gives the increase. And when you align yourself to his word, you'll be shocked what he will do for you. Your gift will make room for you and place you before great men and women like I am today. So don't give up. Don't listen to what everyone says. Mazua fanani, where you are today will not be where you are tomorrow. So live every day looking at where you're going and be sure that he is the one who's going to get you where you need to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, she said it. She closed the show literally. Mazuba hafanani. So don't give up. Don't let go, because tomorrow you never know where you will be. But do not leave the platform right now, because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Now we're gonna have Tariro perform for us right here, live and direct, right directly into your home, into your lounge, into your car, into wherever you are. She's gonna be serenading you in the next few seconds. So please do not leave the platform. You know what you can do right now is to tag your friend, your relative, and say, come and see this amazing lady. She's about to take us on another level with the music. But thank you so much for supporting the music journey hosted by Bled Chimanga in partnership with Alliance Françaisede. We're coming back straight after this advert. We're gonna have Tariro neGitare live in concert for you.
mazuva mangani ndakangomirira kuti uchauya, ndakangomirira kuti zvichachinja, ndaneta makore mangani ndakangomirira mwedzi uchapera ndakangomirira gore rinouya veduwe ndaneta
The next song is a very special song to me, and it's originally done by an artist called Atom Zumbuma. And I particularly like the song because, one, it's in French and Lingala, which are two of my favorite languages at the moment, and also because it speaks of going to a place to hide so that you cannot be found by the evil one. So for this song, I'm going to ask Ozei Monse to just help me sing this one.
Personne sans référence. Un bon matin devient une légende. Namesana nanaite koebane. Les courtes prières en public et les résultats sont magnifiques. C'est qu'elle est naka koumilana lo samboe. Il m'appelait, je le sais, Likabwe Sopela Katinangai, Namituni Bonanini, Ezomela, Yakolobe Zebele, mais pas d'occasion pour s'exprimer. Je suis rentré à ses pieds, Palo Bali Sousoué. Il me dit, cache-toi, Bombanae, ici quand je savais, Nabatonae, Bamonote, Bombanae, ici en prière, Allez, cache-toi, Bombanae, viens apprendre le secret d'un parcours parfait, Bombanae, ici en prière.
Jose once said, ladies and gentlemen. As we continue on the music journey, there's one journey that I'm excited to take part in and excited to live my life with that in mind, and that's the journey to eternity. And this is a song that I wrote called Mukombe, hoping that at the end of this journey, I'll be able to celebrate with the King of Kings.
Come on. pepete mashoko tora rusero pepete zvawanza izvo tora rusero pepete zvawana tora rusero pepete mashoko
Hey. Wow. The next song is a song called Wagona. And Wagona simply means well done. And when I wrote the song, I was thinking of my physical dad and how he's always affirming even the smallest things. You do well in school. Well done, my daughter. And I always picture now getting to heaven and seeing my Heavenly Father saying to me, well done, Tari. Well done, you good and faithful servant. And this is what the song is all about.
Santos vivas, bandido de guerrero. Mogona Shanda inekare tawo Naimani gone sawo Itaunu wenye mudoye mudika baba Chiso chenyu ngati wonekwe Rudo wenyu ngaruruwe Mauyo neuyo anosidawe Dawana wengu chemera ini Dawana wengu turura namota Dawana wengu yemera Ndiye Jesu Tino la kumela wakushama Kuna mwari baba bachiri mudila Hanzi mwanangu wagona Wagona Tino la kumela wakushama Kuna mwari baba bachiri mudila Hanzi mwanangu wagona Wagona Tino la kumela wakushama Kuna mwari baba bachiri mudila Hanzi mwanangu wagona Wagona Tino la kumela wakushama Kuna mwari baba bachiri mudila Hanzi mwanangu wagona Wagona Ndinoda kuyenda wokumusha kwangu kuna mwari baba bachini mundira hanzi mwanangu wagona Wagona Ndinoda kuyenda wokumusha kwangu kuna mwari baba bachini mundira hanzi mwanangu wagona Wagona Ndinoda kuyenda wokumusha kwangu Suba fanane Aragara
Aicho. Apo. Introduction. Blessing Chimanga. Thank you, Simba, for the sound. Thank you, Alliance Françaisede, for the venue. And the crew behind the scenes, shout out to you.